some days he's like, hey, or
I don't do that.
you do.
I can't even do that sound.
Yes, you do.
Get out of here.
Are we starting a fight right
We're
now?
fighting.
Okay.
We're in a fight.
This is about control. Everybody knows. Everyone complies. We're the kinds of pros. I don't need a plane. I just hit the road. I do what I want. I can't sell my soul. Market about to crash. This is what you chose. Ruining the country. I've been best to go. You gon' take the mark. I take narrow roads. I'm a man of God. I can never fold.
Dude, I shut off my RO system, hopped in the shower, and I think the RO system warms it up because I think it chilled by like maybe 10 degrees.
Oh, wow.
It was.
Balls were.
Hey, why you got to talk about my balls on the air? We're recording. Welcome to the Protect Your Purpose podcast, where we talk whiskey, business, friends, family, and freedom. And tonight, marriage and love, presumably. This is my co-host and beautiful and lovely wife, Lindy. Welcome to the show, honey.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I love how you just do it on cue. Does it feel weird when you say just that? Is that all you can say?
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
What else do I say?
I don't know. I only say
You're
one thing.
fucking right.
Yeah.
You're fucking right. I'm your awesome wife. I don't know.
You are my
It
awesome
doesn't
wife.
seem natural to say that.
I think
Right?
going forward, it wouldn't hurt if you start saying, fucking right, I'm your
Fucking
wife.
right, I'm your hot wife.
And say it with bass in your voice.
Okay. Noted.
You got it. Oh, we're drinking.
Matt, what are you drinking today?
I don't know, Ian. Hold on one second. Let me find out. Matt, what are we drinking today? Well, Matt, we are drinking our house whiskey, and this is Buffalo Trace. Before we get started, I want to do a quick shout out and a thank you to all of our listeners and subscribers. We're kicking ass. We've got a couple really great viral shorts that Ian put together. Well done, my friend.
Gracias.
Yes, absolutely. Things are taking off. We've got, probably 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000 subscribers on one platform. I think we're up to like 7,000 or 8,000 on Instagram. Things are moving. Our movement is catching traction. All of the plan that we have put together is taking shape, and it is mostly in part from all of the support of our listeners
Ian.
and the great work of Ian and the commitment to the show. So thank you all for listening.
I was going to say, I just want to do one shout out because my friend Cayenne is freaking religious about watching our show. She admires your information that you put out, and I think it's awesome.
I think you're undervaluing you and Zach and Cayenne, as well as some others. We've got Adam Berger as a loyal listener. My
Yes.
cousin Ricky is a loyal. I mean, I could go on. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to, but
I just wanted to give her a shout out.
actually want Matt Summers. We've got a lot of loyal listeners. Good point. It's you guys who are sharing the show, and the impact of sharing the show. Like if it gives you value, which I had hoped that would be the outcome. I just didn't in a million years think that it would be so quick and so impactful. And sometimes the stuff we say, I don't even understand while we're saying it that could really help someone. And that was the point of the show, and it means the world to us. So thank you all for your support. And now,
The Matt and Lindy Show.
dun dun dun. Yes. All right. Let's get fired up, Ian.
Okay.
Let's
So
do
I got
the first
some
question.
I got some questions for you too.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
do this.
Here we
So
go.
the first one, just kind of one that I've noticed, been friends with you guys for a while, and I think there's definitely a pretty clear difference from something I noticed about your guys' marriage compared to a lot of other people that I know who are married. So it is that you guys seem happy, but the question is that real, or are you guys fronting?
Oh, we're
is it fake?
fronting. It's totally all fake.
I mean,
Oh, this is a loaded question for me.
yeah. The answer is I mean, I want you to start.
Okay, I'll start. So,
I hate him.
You want me
so
to start?
much.
I hate him.
fucking hate him.
I'll answer. The answer
Someone
is
rescue me.
fucking yes, it's real. I don't have time to be pretending to fucking love somebody that I don't. I don't have time to be
well, we
pretending
did
to be
get
happy.
tattoos on our fingers, so I
That
mean,
was
if
pretend.
That doesn't,
It's
well,
a washout. I
You
got
could be
one.
Lola, I could be Mike, I guess, but
That's right. Lola and Mike live forever together forever.
no, yeah.
Um,
So my
What's yours? Let's go.
My answer is, if you know us personally, I could venture to say that you would say that nothing is fake. We are as real on this podcast as we are out in the real world. I'm not saying that we are perfect, but we know how to
You are not perfect.
No, I'm perfect. You are not.
No, I think we got this all backwards. Ian, is that part of the script?
We have worked so hard in the last 20 years to build a relationship. And I want to talk about a certain word later, but I think that
Word?
yes,
What's
a
the word? Can you get a sneak preview?
Submissive.
Oh,
I want to talk
Okay.
about that word
Oh,
because
shit.
it truly means a lot to me, and I feel very, very deeply about that. But
let's go.
we have worked
Submissive.
so hard, and we've been through some shit. We've been through the ringer, and I feel like the last couple years I have supported you. You have supported me. I've done my part. You have done your part. We communicate more than any couple I know. We do not get in fights. And if we argue or if we bicker, one of us apologizes within 5 minutes, because I cannot go 20 minutes without talking to him and telling him a story or about my day or about the kids, or I cannot. It's not in me at all. So
you guys are best friends too.
we're best friends, literally. And
Abba Zabba, you my
I
only
just-
friend.
no, I just can't. I don't know.
What movie is that? That's gonna bug. I didn't even
How
know.
high?
That's right.
Isn't it?
I think 'cause he's high and
Dave Chappelle,
he's
yeah.
eating it.
Abba
Right or something.
Zabba, you my only friend. Yeah. Yeah. So
I think it's pretty clear to
Yeah.
everybody that knows us.
fuck no, it's not fake. I don't. Again, we've talked about this before. We've tried to where like I'm gonna script something and I'm terrible. I'm a terrible actor. People pretend. Actually, we got told that I was an actor, that I am able to turn on acting when I want to.
yes.
We'll talk about that later. But someone in the Army did a sworn statement that said I got emotional while talking about my wife, which seemed like a cry for attention and an acting. And I'm going, if anybody knows me, they know I can't act. I act one way, and that's the way I am.
Everybody who has ever met you knows that.
Right.
Not just knows you.
Right.
Anyone has ever met you.
It's called acting on emotions rather than logic. I'm an emotional response person rather than a logical response person. Therefore, I only know how to act how I'm feeling. And sometimes that feeling is one way, sometimes it's another. But there's no acting going on. There's no pretending. I have nothing to lie about. If I was unhappy, then I'd probably be talking about how unhappy I was. But so a couple things here from my perspective. Number one, we weren't always this happy.
We went and did our own thing.
Oh, yeah.
I went on girls' trips. He was running a different business. We were living completely different lives. So
Yeah. Like at one point, we were married. At one point, she lived in Sioux City. I lived in Lincoln. We were separate. And what ultimately, we just talked about it. I was saying that if we're not in sync, if we're not rowing in the same direction as a couple, then what happens is we eventually start to drift. We've been in that point.
that
I
was
just made a short out of it.
Oh, that's where I
That's
thought
the
it was, the
best.
podcast.
Literally just made a short.
Yeah.
out of
And
it.
it's
Listen.
so true.
It's so true. We have lived that. We have lived that. I was on one page, she was on the other. And eventually what happened was our marriage started to go. We had a good marriage. We loved each other. But she started going in one direction. I was going in another. And next thing you know, we were fighting. We're doing.
I was relying on my girlfriends.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what you were.
I was drinking
His
at the bar.
boyfriends?
I was drinking at the
Now
bar.
he's
with-
relying on his boyfriends.
Yeah, I was drinking at the bar with Adam and with
Yeah.
Stuart and with the guy. I mean, I was going out Monday night football, Sunday night football. Go ahead.
We were also very young.
Yeah, we were
And
young.
We had two very tiny little kids, and we at that time realized, well, not at that time, much later, realized that sacrifice and doing stuff together brings us together, keeps us together, and now I can't imagine doing anything without him.
Right.
I literally can't.
And
I
listen,
love it. I enjoy it. It's not like I'm like, oh, my husband has to come along. Like, I refuse to do anything
Do
without
you
him.
know that there
most of
are
the time.
marriages like that?
Yes.
There are people who are married that will never get a divorce that dread going home to their spouse, dread going out with their
Awful.
on a date. Like a date. What do you mean a date? No, I don't want to go on a date. Why would you not want to go on a date with your spouse?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, listen,
It's a sore subject.
It happens all the time. And we've said this before. Let's backtrack real quick to finish that thought. I saw this happening. I don't know if you saw it happening as early as I did or understood it, but I came home and I was like, look, here's the deal. We're drifting. It's changing our marriage. It's changing the way I feel that you feel about me. It's definitely changing the way that I'm feeling about you. All of a sudden, we're now kind of bickering and we're fighting and we're not being intimate, and shit just started happening. And I was like, when this started happening was when we started being separate. Mm-hmm. So my reaction was,
let's get an apartment.
Yes. My reaction was to not be separate anymore. So I came home, and me being the dominant, because you're going to say submissive and I'm going to be the whatever the opposite of submissive is, I assume. Ian, Google it. I came home and I'm like, look, no more girls trips. No more that, like, we're not going out separate. We're doing this. We're doing shit together. Mm-hmm. Because, listen, we came from two different worlds. She had all of her own friends, and I had my own friends. And we didn't do really well blending them. So when she was out with her friends, I was either like a tag along or... We're going to say something?
Go ahead. I want to...
Ultimately, I ended up putting the kibosh to girls trips and girls night out. And I also did the same thing with me. There's no more guys trips. There's no more guys night out. Like, I'm not doing that shit. We are deciding what we're going to do. And if you don't want to do it, then I won't do it. If I don't want to do it, then you won't do it. I used to send I'm not going. You want to go out? Go. I'm not going tailgating and going getting drunk and running around Lincoln.
And I went.
And she went. She'd go with her friends and have a great time. And it was innocent. It wasn't like she was going out, like, sleeping around and cheating on me. We were just drifting. We were going in different directions.
And then you listen to Bruno Mars.
I hope he buys you flowers. That song? I hope he holds your hand. No, I made that decision before that song came out. And when it came out, I was like, yes, this is it.
Bruno Mars understands me.
Yes, he feels me. He gets it. No, it was right in that time frame when that song came out, though. 2014, probably. I understood that and went, all right, we're doing this. And at first she's like, this is controlling. And I'm like, this isn't controlling. This is like, I had a mom and dad who were married for 50 years and they never did anything apart.
Never.
They lived a life together.
And happy.
Every one of their friends was a mutual friend. And that was what I wanted to build. And as long as I was living one life and she was living another life and I wasn't doing what she wanted to do and she wasn't doing what I wanted to do, I was certain that we wouldn't ever connect like my mom and dad did.
I did not realize at the time what was happening. I didn't realize that me going with all of my girlfriends, which now, I mean, I'll take a girls' trip if there's someone's birthday or if it's an occasion where I need to be there.
Right.
I still don't. I enjoy them, but I don't feel comfortable because I like him with me to enjoy fun together. But I didn't realize at the time that was what was happening because all of my friends that were married did the same thing.
Right.
And I don't know if they realized it or if they do now or what, not my business, but I didn't realize. And that's why I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is normal.
I can go down a conspiracy rabbit hole on this. I won't, but I'll touch on it quickly. This is propaganda. Girls' trips, the feminist movement, the women's rights. Women lack zero rights that men have. Every right a man has, a woman has. All of this movement is to do one thing. It is to divide the households. And I understood that our household was falling victim to divisive behavior. I don't participate in anything that has anything to do with something that God created, that was beyond your control. If God created you a woman, I don't participate in anything that is women's. If God created a man, I don't do men's. Like, I don't do men's night out. I don't do guys trips. I don't do any of that because God, that's fucking stupid and it's divisive. Just like I don't do white guy trips. Just like I don't do black guy trips. Just like I don't like anything that
fat guy trips.
I don't do fat. Well, God didn't create fat people. God just created people. But anything that I don't do that because it's all divisive and it's all propaganda and it divides the fucking household. And we have decided we're not going to let our household get divided.
But since then, we know this and we talk about this and we are very, very, very aware of this. Mm-hmm. You do every once in a while when you have to or when it's, we are aware of this and what the agenda is. So we do now because I understand, he understands. And sometimes it's just what it is.
Yeah. I'm going somewhere.
It took a
she's
very,
not going.
very long time for me to realize.
And what we did was we've talked about this before too. We made a pointed actual effort. Like we sat down, we discussed this. What is our goal? Is this serving our goal? Mm-hmm. And if not, then we're not doing it. And now it's to the point where when I want to, or I have to, or feel the need to go somewhere and she can't come or isn't going to come, she knows I don't want to do it because I do not want to leave her. If she has to go somewhere, like every army trip she's on is essentially a guy's trip.
Right.
She's tagging along on guys' trips. We know that that's just the situation we're in. We have to deal with that. Like, that's fine. But we don't do annual girls anything, annual guys everything, because we understand the goal to a happy marriage is service to each other. And if that leaves you, and I've got some shit to talk about on that, but if that leaves you at home feeling like you were excluded from what I'm doing, that is going to hurt you. Mm-hmm. Whether you admit it or not, or whether it does at first, but slowly over time, if you keep doing that, it's going to hurt your spouse. When you hurt your spouse, it's going to hurt your marriage. Don't expect to have a happy marriage while you're actively hurting your spouse. Like, first thing I would say to any couple, and this is supposed to be less Matt ranty and more intimate, and I just can't fucking help it because I'm passionate about it. But
everyone knows.
The first thing that I would ask a couple that is struggling in their marriage is, honestly, you need to take a real good look at yourself and ask yourself, say to yourself, self, do you care if your husband or your wife is happy? Okay? If you don't care if they're happy, then you need to take a real hard fucking look at your life, your marriage, and your priorities. Mm-hmm. Okay? If you do care, and to finish that, you have to figure out if you want to make that person happy or not. Okay? And if you don't, make a move, like do something. If you do care if they are happy, which I can't even understand people that don't, like especially people with kids. Why
get married?
And it's the mother of your children. Like, I don't even understand that part.
If you're with someone who doesn't care if you're happy, you married the wrong person.
You married the wrong person. Recognize it. But if you care if that person is happy, okay? Once you decide that your spouse needs to be happy, you now have to understand, and you want them to be happy, you now have to move into the serving your purpose aspect of things, and you have to do whatever the fuck it takes to make that person happy. That's what you have to do. And that includes sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex.
Real quick before you change the topic, I just want to say, as someone who's known you guys for going on a decade now, I can't fathom you guys being separate, like living separate lives, having even the thought of you guys having separate friends blows my mind. Because as someone who's known you for a decade, I mean, I call you guys the Marcheses. My kids call you guys. It's not Matt. It's not Lindy. It's the Marcheses. Your friends. I mean, Matt, you're in. Lindy, I know you're going to agree with this because we talked about this, but like your 40th birthday, it showed A, how old you are, but B, that you're. I couldn't let that go. But would. Your guys, how your marriage is, and that was the perfect example of just everybody there together, and it's you guys, I mean, you guys almost like your marriage unites people too, you know? Yeah, there it is. Let it go.
Thanks, bro.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we didn't.
All right, back to sex.
And we're back. We could sit here and do like the little humble brag thing, but we understand that now. We didn't then. This podcast has really showcased that. It's really let us know the impact. People reach out to us often. More and more often, people reach out to us and tell us that we are making an impact on their life, and that our relationship is what kind of drives them or has motivated them or has impacted them to try and do better or to try and figure out what's going on.
You guys are clearly doing something right. I mean, you'll say, don't take my marriage advice. I'm not a marriage counselor, but you guys in today's age where most people are divorced after 2 to 5 years, you guys have beat that. So, I mean, you're doing something. You have the recipe for success.
The recipe. Put each other first. That's it.
I know that's right.
Put each other first. Over everything besides God. Everything. Every single thing, put each other first. Put each other's feelings first. Put each other's wants, needs, everything first. And you will. And I don't know what to tell you if you just don't want to. Or then you married the wrong person.
Yes.
Like
that is what it is.
I truly feel like that's what it is. If you don't have the desire to make your spouse happy and content and all the other good words, then you married the wrong person.
And
took me a long time to figure that out.
Yeah, like we worked on this.
I did not go to the altar to marry him and make him happy and everything. No. I did not know that. I was young. I was 26 years old, 25, 26, but
we are not perfect.
No.
But I can tell you this, our marriage is better today than it and it's not like we're on a high. My marriage for the last 5 years was better than the first 10 years.
And I've seen that too. Yeah. Like again,
100%.
For 10 years you guys have been married good, but I've also noticed over time like you guys have gotten happier together too.
Happier. Yeah. More dependent on each other. Oh. More reliant. I'm telling you why. Like I'm telling you what we did, and this is one of the things I wanted to talk about. Like what I don't know if it's the right thing, but I could tell you what worked for me, and we intentionally cut out all of the other bullshit. And it was hard because you receive pressure, and then people are like, I don't want people to think that you're controlling. No.
That's what everybody thinks. Everybody. Probably because I'm more soft-spoken. I'm more
submissive.
I'm more submissive. I'm more easygoing. I'm so chill, like whatever you want to do. But also he does that for me. So
all the fucking time. And it's so hard for me to be chill about anything. I do it in a very non-chill type of way.
I was going to say, everybody that knows him knows that he is aggressive. He's passionate. But he has the fucking heart of gold. Like
I'm pretty soft
he cares
on the inside.
More about me, and I know this, and
than anything.
Like, oh, literally.
Than anything.
That's why I'm like, I'm submissive.
I'm fearful for the person that would ever fuck with Lindy.
It's going to be bad.
It would be very bad.
It's going to be bad. Yep. It's going to be bad.
Matt's family is his soft spot. And
dude,
Lindy is at the tip of that spear of the family. So,
dude, it is my purpose. And when we say protect your purpose, I'm talking about with motherfucking lethal force. I'm talking about to the fullest extent of perfection or of protection and to the fullest extent of passion. When I see my wife cry, when I see her hurt, it crushes me. Like, and if you don't have that kind of love and appreciation for the mother of your men out there, if you don't have that kind of love and passion for your wife, that when you see her hurt, it breaks you inside to the point of you being enraged, sad, pissed off, frustrated, mad, to the point where you want to destroy whatever did that to her, you are not doing it right. Build that passion. Build that gut, that fucking killer instinct to protect your spouse. And when you do that, you won't want to make her cry anymore. You won't want to make her sad anymore. I get mad at myself if I upset my wife. let alone anybody else.
And he does. Like, he still does.
Of
Like,
course.
You guys are married. You're going to piss
We're
each other
fucking
off.
married with
I
3
never,
kids, 10
ever-
businesses.
I never, ever,
Yeah.
ever want to come off as perfect. I never, ever want to come off as like we have our shit
That's
together.
right.
I mean, we do have our shit together because we are very in tune with what is going on in our marriage and what is going on in our life, our children, everything. But I don't ever want to seem like we always have issues. Everyone does, and we work them out. Like, I know that there is nothing that is going to come between us. I know there's nothing like the D word has never, ever, ever, ever been a part of
Never.
our marriage ever.
I don't say you're being a bitch. I don't
No,
say you're a
he's
bitch.
never-
I don't. Nothing.
But with your aggression and your fierce like personality and your fierce energy, I feel like people feel like you could be like that.
Oh, of course.
And
'Cause they
he's
don't
never
fuck.
called me a name ever, ever, ever in 20 years. Never once. Swear to God, never called me a bitch or any name.
I'll vacuum the bed on your
Maybe-
ass. Though. We know
I'll
that.
vacuum the shit
We
out
know that.
bed.
I'll
They'll
vacuum the
maybe
shit out
say
of
like
the
you're
bed.
acting like a psycho or you're acting psycho.
Well, that's because all women are crazy.
Yeah,
You're not a
don't-
bitch, but
don't-
all women are crazy.
Never.
Yeah. No, I'm
But-
not calling. No way.
But it's never too late to rekindle.
No, like we established, like a conversation. Do you want me to be happy? Okay, I want you to be happy. Okay, well, I have my son Kason all the time. Son, do you want? He's got he's a great kid. He's super sharp, smart, charismatic, funny, full of life, full of personality. But he's got like the middle child syndrome, they call it, where he's always the victim and he's always sad and everyone's out to get him. And he's the kid who's like, you didn't pick me, I'm taking my ball and going home. Your game is over if I'm not in this. Well, he's that kid. So I try and explain to him, and it's a really good lesson for a lot of adults. Like, all you have to do is ask yourself, and I tell him this, do you want them to like you? His answer, yes. Do you want them to hate you or dislike you? His answer is no. Okay. Does that behavior make them like you or hate you? And he says, reluctantly, hate me. And I'm like, right. So if you want them to like you, what do you have to do? You have to give them the ball. It's the same fucking thing.
You know what I
in
love about that,
marriage.
Matt?
What?
That's the same fucking lesson your dad taught you. Are you driving her crazy?
Yeah. Are you doing this?
Are
Is
you
your
doing this?
behavior doing this? Right.
And you're like, oh shit.
Dude, that's the secret sauce. That's it. Serve each, what did you say? Put each other first.
Yeah.
Serve your purpose. Serve her. And there's magic even for you people out there who are like, I have so much resentment and anger towards my spouse, my
Yes.
husband or my wife, that I don't want her to be happy. Okay? Think about what?
That's dangerous. That's a dangerous
We
mindset.
can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ian. What?
Dangerous.
Listen, you're in this conversation. Apparently, you're the interviewee. No, interviewer.
Yeah, you're the
You might as well just
interviewees.
keep your mic on. This way you don't have to.
And we're back.
And we're back. That is there's a secret sauce to it. Okay. If you go back, even if you hate, even if you have hate in your heart for your spouse, to where when you are faced with that question, do you want your husband or wife to be happy? If the answer is no, like, you have to be honest with that. But I'm telling you, there is a magic that brings it back to like the honeymoon phase, doing the finger quotes for you audio people, the honeymoon phase where, you were in love, where you were in lust, where you were sexual, where you...
The reason you married your partner.
Right.
The reason.
The magic is that you were trying to make that person love you. You were trying to make that person happy.
Right.
You were trying to convince that person to marry you, that you were worth it, that you were the person that they should choose. And when that happens, when you are doing that, and when I am doing that, what happens is a magic of being supported and moving right segue into sex, like sex included. I wanted to, this is the one thing that I wanted to talk about. And you wanted to talk about being submissive. I can't wait to hear that shit. The one thing that I wanted to talk about was sex. And I want to tell a personal feeling of mine that
Okay.
I never knew until very recently-ish, maybe not very recently, but recently, that this is common and that this is real. And I understand it now better, and it's clearer, more clear for you fucking haters on the internet who are going to tell me clearer isn't a word. Fuck you, it is. but more clear than ever what this concept is. And that is that sex, you have to understand this. Ladies, this is for you. Men too, because there's a flip-flop, but I'm talking from a man's perspective. You can talk about from a woman's perspective if you identify as a woman. I will tell you firsthand, if you are left hanging in bed as a man, when I have been left hanging in bed as a man, it breaks me.
And when you say left hanging, meaning like
without
you
sex.
Didn't get a, oh,
Yep.
okay.
I am trying to have sex with my wife.
And it has happened.
Yeah.
Like,
And my wife does not want to have, and I get blown off or, not tonight or an excuse or whatever happens. I want you women to know that sex to a man is more than just an orgasm. It's more than just
It's a love language.
it is a physical connection that certifies love that men need emotionally. Sure, there's times where, I don't know, you're whatever you want to say. I'm sorry for the kids who are listening. You're drunk and horny and you just want to have sex. Like, I got that. Okay. But even then, if a man gets left hanging, you have now put a scar on that man's heart. Okay. It isn't just wanting the D. Okay. It is men wanting to be loved and wanting an emotional connection with their wife. That's what they want. And when you do not give them the emotional connection after they have protected you and worked for you, and they put your family first, they're providers, they're defenders, their heart and soul is into you, and you act like all they want, finger quotes again, is sex. What you're failing to understand is all they want is an emotional, a deep connection with their wife. And if you don't do that, and you can't figure out a way to get in love again, you're scarring your husband. And I've been there. I've sat there in bed, sad. It's not like, well, fuck it, she turned me down again. It's she doesn't love me, or not, maybe even not that. I know you love me, or and I know, people know that, but
Well,
the feeling,
you feel it there.
right? The feeling is that you don't love me. I understand that's irrational and that's not real. And surely that's not what women are thinking. Like, I don't love you. Maybe it is, but
for some.
I don't love you. I'm not doing that. No. They are interpreting that in their heart is the absence of love and fucking physical connection that is a reminder of their love. Again, going back, if the magic that you have isn't performed, we'll call the magic trick isn't done, where you have served each other and you are now back in love and back in lust in that honeymoon stage, it might even feel like a chore. Like, I got that, but figure out a way, like foreplay, fucking massages,
There's a lot of shit you can do.
There's a lot of shit you can do. Listen, you're tired. I got it. Let's go downstairs and have a glass of wine and chat. Like, hey, wife, your husband wants to connect with you.
And this is not every night. This is not like every single night. But when you make a move, or
make a move? Is that what you say?
Or
what the fuck is make a move?
I don't know. It's the wine talking, but when you,
Lindy, what are you
Like
drinking today?
he yawns. Oh,
wonk. Right on a titty.
I mean, right. When you signal, like when you do what you do, and I know, like,
oh shit, he's trying
I
to get
know.
it.
brown chicken. Wow.
Yeah. I know. Or during the day, he'll put it out there, like, hey.
We trying to get this thing done? Sometimes
like
I just
that.
attack her.
Or, yeah, something more sweeter.
Yeah, I'm a sweet guy.
Or, just anything during the day. I know that I know what he wants. I know what to expect. I know, like, I'm going home. I got to mentally prepare. And sometimes, most of the time, not all the time, because I'm fucking tired and, you know, both of us get tired and we don't always have to sync or be on the same page on the same
that's a great
day.
point.
You know, some days he's like, hey, you know, or
I don't do that
yes,
shit.
you do.
I can't even do that sound.
Yes, you do. You
Get out of here.
Are we starting a fight right
We're
now?
fighting.
Okay.
We're in a fight.
But, or there's some days where I will, where I'll send him a text.
You'll go, hey.
Yeah.
She does that via
She's
text.
the one that does it.
That's spelled CHTTTH.
No, some days, you know, but it doesn't always have to sync, but you have to sacrifice. You have to make each other like happy.
That's a really, really awesome point about being in sync because
You're never going to be in sync.
Now you got to fucking get in sync. It's
Both
like
men and women are equally as tired, exhausted, not mentally there. You have to have that in the forefront of your mind. Like if he wants it, I don't have to want it. And 5 times out of 10, it's going to be
5 out of 10.
I mean, 8 times.
Oh, I see what you're saying. 5 times out of 10. It's
I'm different. You have to sacrifice it. You know,
yeah, that's not a bad thing.
you have to want
Like,
to make your partner happy.
Men,
Period.
women, you're serving your spouse that you married, that you vowed to serve, that you vowed to protect, that you vowed to, till death do you part. You vowed to put them first. This was your vows to that person. You committed to this. And if you fulfill your commitment, your marriage will be good.
Oh.
Like I'm telling you, if you take the same principles of sex, like, hey, I don't want to go out tonight, but my wife wants to go out. I better get my fucking, and I'm not talking about 100% of the time. Everyone's entitled to a day off. Like everyone's entitled to this. It doesn't have to be, you know, militant. Everyone's entitled to hey, I'm fucking exhausted. But when that happens 3 times in a row, it's another little slice.
Builds up.
And
it builds up towards anger. It
Yes.
builds up both ways, more so towards the man, because the man, that's just, he craves love and he craves attention and he craves intimacy. And I mean,
because men are so much fucking more emotional than the propaganda machine has ever led anyone to believe. I believe men are far more emotional
but they hide it and they bottle it up.
as a whole. Now, I understand there are very non-emotional men and very non-emotional women, and I understand it isn't one size fits all. But as a whole, men have been bred to show this masculine exterior shell that is hardened. And when you show that, people are more likely to throw spears at you because they don't believe it hurts. But I am here to tell you firsthand from a very hard exterior shelled man, I am also one of the most emotional people you will ever meet. And if you don't fucking know me, you don't know that. I'm telling you right now, if you hurt your man like that, it is going to fuck your marriage up. It is going to hurt his soul and hurt his heart. When you are mean to your husband, it fucking hurts him.
Also, if you are introverted and you're very quiet and, you know, non-emotional, if you have zero emotion or quiet emotion, they bottle that up too. Like every single,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like every male specimen, every male human desires human touch, human connection, sex. It's what God created.
Man and woman.
It's just
Procreate.
what men create.
We make we put this in this, we make baby.
I want to put this
That's
out
right.
there because I think this is very, very, very important. If you have been married for quite some time and your husband is still desiring you, still wanting you, still effortlessly trying to get some human connection, get that touch, get whatever it is that he wants, you should feel fucking lucky.
Amen.
You should be like, oh, he still desires me, he's still attracted to me, he still has that, he still wants me. I feel like that's so
Men,
important.
if
And
you are attracted to your, and you can attest, a lot of people can attest, I will tell you often.
All the time. I know exactly what you're going to say. Get out of the shower and he'll be like, God damn, babe, I just think you're a smoke show. I just think that you're the most beautiful thing that still 20 years later.
I'm just as attracted to you as I was when I met you.
Still.
And it is the God's honest truth. And I know.
And it's nice to hear it.
Sure.
So it makes me want to make him happy.
Dude, it's the magic. You service each other. You serve each other.
So is. Like you put 100% effort into your marriage. Both of you can't be one-sided. Both of you put 100% effort. It will work.
Service to each other. We call it on this show and in my life, serving our purpose.
Boom.
That's what we call it. That's my purpose right there, man. Sitting across the table is one of my few purposes, and I take it very fucking seriously, and I evaluate it regularly. Am I doing what I should be doing as a husband? Am I doing what I should be doing as a father? Am I doing what I should be doing as a friend? Am I doing what I should be doing as a business owner? And oftentimes I'm not. But it's a constant reevaluation.
But you can put effort towards it.
And then I make daily activities, daily tasks, daily non-negotiables. Like, dude, I'm fucking up right now with my wife. I haven't given her the love in the last 2 weeks. I've been busy or, self-absorbed or consumed with what's going on.
And Lord knows, I need attention and I need vacations.
Vacations, or love language vacations.
Just kidding.
Anyway, service. It's just service. And we've talked. Go back and listen to the other. You remember what episode it is by chance?
I don't. I think it's around 9.
Yeah, go back and listen. You could see it. Go back and listen. It's whatever it's called, the
marriage episode.
The marriage episode. We talked about it, but it's service. And I'm telling you all right now, we'll move on past this, but service to your spouse and serving your purpose will create magic. It like anything. It is not going to be overnight. We've been working on this shit, fucking full court pressing on this for like 7 years.
Yeah, years. Long time.
It took a long
Now I get where
time
he was coming from. He had his parents as an example. I didn't really, but
tell that
now
story.
looking back, oh yeah, this is perfect. My dad he was a big gambler. My mom sat at home with me because my sisters were much, much older. But my dad would go off gambling every single night. He would have coffee with his friends every single night. And my mom would sit home with me, put me to bed, watch Oprah every single night. That's all I remember all my life. And then one day I woke up and I heard she's not going to school. Yes, she is. She's not going to school. I'm going to show her this, blah, blah, blah. And my dad took off, and I remember getting up because I could hear them arguing in the kitchen, and my dad took off for Las Vegas or California to live, quote unquote, to live. I was at a dance competition. I don't remember how old I was, probably 8 or 9. And I came home to my dad gone to Vegas and blew every single dollar he had from his lawsuit that he had won for a broken back. You don't have to
cut that part out.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But anyways, my parents were in totally different directions. And now that I understand and realize like how a marriage is supposed to be, it makes so much more sense that my mom was just trying to hold the kids, trying to hold us down, take care of me, because my sisters were out of the house, living their own life. Yeah, much, much older than me. And she was trying to, raise me. And my dad was off gambling, having coffee with the boys. I mean, he was 60, so. But we had dinner, the normal things as a family, but they'd never put each other first my entire life. So learning this is very, very, very new to me because my mom showed me that having other friends was fine. And my dad showed me that having his whole gambling life and, guys we're fine. Now
Two
I'm
awesome
realizing,
people.
but looking at his parents' marriage completely opened my eyes, and it's night and day with how it should be, and people don't realize that because it's getting so. The agenda is crazy. How marriage is man and woman. Like, you don't fucking leave each other. You don't do anything apart.
You fucking serve each other. You serve.
You serve each other. You raise your family together.
Purpose.
You do everything together.
Well, I think
I'll
a lot
go
of
to a girlfriend's dinner. He'll go to a football game with guys.
Sure.
But ultimately, like, we know, like.
And if I'm there, bro, I'm telling you right now, you know I'm bad at returning texts and I'm bad at returning calls and emails and shit. But I'm in constant connection with my wife. Constant communication. If I'm not, you know, at work, she doesn't like fuck with me at work, or if I'm busy, like.
We don't drive each other crazy.
We're not driving each other crazy, but if I'm gone, like, I'm in constant connection with my wife. And it's not because she's worried. It's not because what you people think.
It's because you guys want to be.
It's
in
because
connection.
I don't want to be away from her. And that is from years of foundation building of not being away from her.
Years.
It's building building a dependency upon each other. That is what has created our need for each other and our love and our connection. Like, I don't even know, like, it's fucking hard to explain, but it takes fucking years. Like, you're not going to build a business. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to become a millionaire overnight. It's going to take years.
It's just kind of like a diet.
Yeah, small
like-
daily action items,
Yes.
daily non-negotiables. You focus not on the end game. You focus on the
It's
daily
not
activities.
Right. It's not a fad diet.
That's
It's
right.
not just 90 days of putting in the work. It is literally years.
Yeah.
And
You build.
if you work and work and work, and there will be issues along the way, and you just fight through them if you know that your spouse is the ultimate one. Like, if there's no divorce in your picture, there, like, you would just fucking work it out.
Serve that shit.
Well, see, that's what has separated your guys' marriage from other marriages, is that you guys were going down that path. You guys were drifting. And you said, not today, Satan.
No, sir.
Not today.
But-
Nope.
And
but
you guys have...
The problem is
That's exactly right.
the problem is you both have to be in.
Yes,
And if
right.
you're both not
Yep.
in, one is like, yeah, fuck that shit. You
Nope.
know,
You can't make
Fuck
the
it.
other
He doesn't
person
know what
want
he's
to
talking
stay
about.
in it.
Hell no.
right. You can't make that other person work
Yep.
towards what you want. And it's really sad.
And sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. It's like going to the gym. That was a great analogy. Like, it's like sometimes you got, like, nobody wants to wake up. I don't give a shit. I've said this before too. You ain't a fucking morning person. You either go to bed early and wake up early, or you go to bed late and you don't want to fucking wake up in the morning. And when you go to bed late and you have to wake up in the morning, you just get up and do it because you have to. Or if you don't want to stay up and be sexual with your husband or your wife, you are not, it's like not going to work. It's like not going to the gym on the day that you don't want to do it and expecting the fucking results of going to the fucking gym.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do it. Sometimes you have to fake it. And good news, just like going to the gym, when you're 3 minutes in, I was going to say 5 or 20 minutes in, but ain't none of that shit happening. When you're 5 or 20 minutes in, when you go to the gym, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm over the hump and this shit feels good. And when you're 60 seconds in, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm over the hump and this feels good. And that's it. It's done. And just like that in a flash, like it never even happened. No, it's the same thing. It's the same principle. I love that analogy. Great job, honey. All right. We've talked about sex. We've talked about service to each other. What do you want to talk about? Oh, you want to talk about being submissive.
Yeah.
Let's knock that out. I don't know what the fuck submissive
I'll be
is.
submissive.
She's like, I'm being submissive right now. We
so
can talk about
submissive.
submissive.
Whatever you want.
Listen, it's my fucking show. You're here as a guest. Remember?
No, it's easy. It's simple. To me, submissive does not mean giving up what you believe in. It doesn't mean giving up whatever your wants and whatever your beliefs are. It doesn't mean anything like that. It means, to me, submissive means
You're letting your man take the lead,
yes.
right?
Yes, and that is how it's supposed to be.
Ooh,
Period.
you're about to piss some motherfuckers off.
It's fine.
That's how you feel it is supposed to be, and that is what has worked.
1,000%, and I feel like that's how it's worked.
Yeah.
And I know we have several friends that the woman is the breadwinner, is the
Head
leader
of household,
the leader of the household, the decision maker,
Most women are the decision maker.
I mean, really, truly.
Women always make.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm not, because I make decisions all the time. I let him lead.
You let him lead your family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I lead my fucking family.
Some may not agree with it, and that's okay. That's how we work.
I can tell you right now.
Some females are more prominent in leading. Some
Dominant.
are dominant.
Got it.
Not prominent.
My girl. I got you, babe.
Some females are more dominant.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I couldn't imagine.
Because men have testosterone plowing through their fucking blood, and women have estrogen plowing through their blood. And those two hormones create different effects on the exterior. And when you try and suppress a man's testosterone, it's not natural. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you are a high testosterone man and you have a woman telling you what to do, you're doing it, that's fine, but you're not feeling good about it most times. Like, men do not like showing up in to a valet service, being in the passenger seat while their wife is in the driver's seat and getting out, because it doesn't make them feel good, because men inherently have the need to be masculine. Okay. And I can go down this again, but I'm telling you, this whole getting women out of the household by getting them into the workforce by way of women's rights and women's empowerment, it's a fucking scam. And the scam is to break up a household. And if you don't believe me, go home, ladies, and tell your man you're staying home with the kids. I'm going out. You watch them, and I'll be back. See how that fucking does for your marriage.
Also,
It won't work.
You can still be a strong female and still
Oh, hell yeah.
be submissive to your husband. Not submissive. I feel like that might be a very, very strong word for some. For me, it's not. Like, I'm fully aware, but you can still be a strong female and a strong leader in your family.
Lindy, I think anyone who knows you and your husband says this all the time, you are a very strong woman.
Fuck yeah.
And you,
Very strong.
at the same time, are submissive / have Matt lead the family, because that's the way it should be. But you are still an individual. You're still probably one of the most strong people I know, and Matt will say the same thing.
100%.
And that you being submissive doesn't make you not a strong person. I think that is what some people might take offense to, is they look at the word submissive and they're like, oh,
Weak.
I'm weak. I can't be strong and submissive. That's not the truth at all. And I think every relationship, every family needs someone to, just like in a business, someone needs to be 51% in the lead. You can't have two 50%ers, because then, and Matt's going to love this, then you're going to have a power struggle.
That's right.
If you got two people trying to lead the family, that's not going to work.
Nope. And I'm telling you right now, you want to know something else? Check out children's behavior on women-ran households, separated households, fatherless households. Check out the statistics on who does a better job leading a family, men or women. It will blow your fucking mind. And if you are a woman who says, I'm the fucking leader, check the statistics of women-led households versus men-led households. Check them out. I'm not even going to go there, because this is a loving, soft, kind-hearted, this is a marriage episode. This is a, what is it called?
Not getting your blood boiling. You're not.
No, I'm not doing this. I'm just loving on you. No, listen, this is real. People
is
want to know,
real.
the question was, are you guys happy? If so, fuck, are you putting on a show? If not, how the fuck are we doing it, right?
I am submissive. He wants to do everything in his power to make me happy.
Because I am also submissive.
No, you're not.
I submit to you fucking every time we have to go out to dinner.
No, every time you have to leave the house.
Every
Matt
time I have
submits
to
you.
leave. Right.
Okay.
I submit. I am
Didn't you guys just
equally-
get back from vacations that Matt
You're
didn't want to go
submitted.
on?
You're lucky that I have a social life.
You are
because
the social
then
coordinator
we would
of our
be
household.
introverts and we would fail
That's
at
your role.
everything.
People ask me, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like,
Ask my wife.
when I say I don't know, like my team keeps my work schedule, my wife keeps my home schedule. 99.9% of the time, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing until I'm very close.
And in Lindy's defense, she doesn't either until Friday. Like the day of the plan, she
She's
doesn't
not
know.
a very good schedule keeper. No,
I
she's
will
not
be
exactly.
when I retire. I will be.
You
I
just say
promise,
that shit all
I
the time.
promise everything when I
I think
retire.
I can. I think I can.
Yes. Yes.
I think I understand what you're saying though. God created man and woman. Men is supposed to lead. If you've got different roles, that's cool. I would encourage you to be careful with how that goes. And if you think you are running your man, and if you think you're doing, like, just think about it from a man's standpoint. He may be being submissive because he doesn't want to fuck up the marriage, but just know what you're doing to his heart and his soul. It may hurt him. And there is a balance of submissive nature. And men, you better be submissive to your fucking wife. And I'm not saying let her strap it on and spank you. Don't do that shit.
Oh God.
But what I am saying is when your wife wants to do some shit, you better submit, or else she will find a man that will do it. You better serve
also
her.
have friends that are like that. So
Like what?
where the women are wanting it so bad and the men are not.
Amen. Men, you better do that, man. Your wife's going to go find it somewhere else. Women, don't be surprised. Again, just like the gym thing, you can't expect the work or you can't respect the results from the work you didn't do. You can't expect a happy marriage if you're not doing the fucking work. And I'm telling you, the shit is just as hard as waking up and going to the gym, just as hard as waking up and going early and running
It
your
is.
business. It's the same thing.
It's so hard.
But when you put in the work, when you serve that purpose, the results will be there. And it's no different with marriage. And I fully believe that. Anyway, Ian, I'm going to hop over here real quick because I saw some Maker's white whiskey and I really want it. So I'm going to leave my headphones on while you maybe read
Question
the last
number 2. So,
I'm nervous.
what advice would you guys give a newlywed couple that, depend upon where they're at in the beginning of their marriage, but what advice would you guys give them to be happy, to have a happy marriage together, to make their marriage last?
Well, first of all, I feel like we just spent an hour.
Yeah, I was just realizing that. 'Cause
But
I
not-
wrote down this question. I'm like, God, we've
not-
given like a bunch of
All of that. First of all, go back and listen to the first podcast.
Re-listen to
and then
this whole-
re-listen to this shit, right?
Not newlyweds. I feel
Oh yeah. That's, but
Like,
still, all the lessons
if
that you guys have
wanna
given would
know
help.
right away.
All right, I got my answer. What's yours? I'm ready if you're not, but
Go for it.
no, I feel like mine will super influence yours. I think you should go first. Are you ready to go first?
I feel like I know what you're gonna say. Okay. So for newlyweds,
White whiskey.
I feel like the best 3 tips. I'm just gonna make them because I have no idea what I'm gonna say. Number 1, put each other first. Start off on the get-go. Take off putting each other first.
Especially early on.
That will never do you wrong, ever, 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 as long as both of you are in it. Number 2, be honest. Communicate. Communication is key. I feel like that's such
Yeah, whatever. It's real.
it is real.
Dig deep into what she just said.
Yeah,
Communicate.
yeah.
Communication. It
Everyone
sounds
says that,
cliche.
but no one does it.
Right.
Dig fucking real deep into what she just said.
It is. If I could go back, I would do all of this stuff that someone told me to do. There were no podcasts or, Number 3, I would say be adventurous. I would go and do different things I would try to go outside of your bubble, no matter how introverted, no matter how
Lame.
lame you are, like how quiet, how you're homebodies, go out and experience life. Go out and experience maybe a bungee jump together.
You fucker, you knew you were taking my answer. All right, you're done.
Matt, did she influence your answer?
No, she fucking stole my answer because she knew what I was going to say because we recently have talked about it. I'm certain she knew. Anyhow, so he said one thing. I don't know if he said one thing, but we'll have to go back and check the audio. Did you say
the review's in? Yeah.
You said three things. I'm going to do one thing, and your third thing was my one thing. Kind of. My piece of advice would be. Are you done? Sorry, I was being very dominant, and you were being very submissive. I'm sorry to control you,
but I feel bad. So go ahead.
And I feel bad anyway. Mine would be. So I read a book. Mickey Agrawal, I think, is the name or the author of the book. She's like a twin, and she's like, her whole premise of life was she wrote a book called Do Cool Shit.
Oh.
And I read that book, and it kind of gave me some. It was kind of like a muse, like it was a motivator. Like, dude, just fucking make the best of this life. Like, just do cool shit. Like, is that something that is cool shit? Well, then do it. Because we got one of these. We got one fucking life to live. And from a relationship standpoint, if you have somebody that you love and you have somebody that you want to further your relationship with and grow to the next level, do cool shit together. Do wild shit together.
That was not anything like. Well, I said bungee jump, but
I think I probably just said it better.
Yes,
Just
absolutely.
kidding. No,
You did.
it was along the same lines. Do cool shit together. Do wild shit. We've been accused of being nymphos because we'll do like nympho stuff in like places.
That's it. Different places. It's not nympho.
Listen,
it's
go ahead.
just fun.
It's just fun. We're
Adventurous.
experience
Heart-wrenching.
seekers.
Yeah.
Seek out experiences with your significant other.
But what do you say to those that are very introverted and very close and personal and
Take the jump.
Take the fucking jump.
Take the jump. Do it.
fucking do it?
Jinx.
Fucking don't be introverted.
Yeah.
Overpower that internal
You can
thought.
be introverted
Yep.
and still do crazy.
For that
You're,
moment,
you're
take the
married.
jump.
You're married to one. Matt is introverted.
Fuck yeah. Big ass introvert. You know that.
Ugh.
The most introverted
not.
extrovert you'll
Yes.
ever meet. Do I want to go to dinner? Do I want to go out with friends?
Do you want to go on
Do I
vacation?
want to go? Fuck no. I don't want to do any of this shit. Why do I do it? Because I'm submissive.
Submissive to you.
I submit to
But
my wife because I get yes. Yeah, man. Do cool shit. Do cool shit with your wife. Seek an experience. You'll both love it. Like do some shit that you never thought you would do.
Yes.
Be it a fear, like thrill, and adventure, and I don't know, having sex in a mall or an airport or whatever. Like that shit is thrill. It's thrill. It's like jumping. Take the jump. You said it. That was really nice. That was really great. Take the jump.
Thank you.
Like a metaphor that you should live by. Take the jump. But when you can take the jump with your spouse, it will build a connection.
And don't get me wrong, he has to talk me into some of these adventures, like bungee jumping and
Sex
all
in the
the-
airport and those things.
You said it, not me.
I know.
But he has to talk me into it and build me up and encourage me, and like it's not just a both.
And in my
Both of
defense,
us want to go do it right now. Want to go bungee jump, want to go do all these crazy things. I am normally the one that's like, no, hell no, 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 no. And then
to be very clear, I am also never all in on these things. You guys have heard the bungee jumping story. Like I'm not all in on these. I don't want to. Like it's scary to me too. And that's how I sell her. I add purpose. Like, what about this experience? Like, don't you want to do this? Wouldn't that be fucking awesome?
Dude,
Let's
and
knock it out.
It's the bungee jump instructor. What'd he say to you? What was the advice he gave to you
Yeah.
about something on the other side? Or
Yep. The scarier it is on this side, the better the high is on the other side.
Damn right.
Which is
And
so
that is
true.
Same
true.
thing in marriage. 100%.
Fuck yeah.
I told you after I got done doing that, like I've done everything.
Are you
that
talking
I
about the airport or bungee jumping? I'm confused. See
Both.
what I did there?
cut, cut. No, I said after bungee jumping, I directly went up to Matt and I was like, "There's nothing else that I wouldn't do. Like Literally, that has been my number one fear in my entire life. I would never free fall for that long. And he was like, oh, there's a whole different level of fear. Like,
There's always a
you
next
just
level,
gotta
man.
keep. Now we're seeking the next level of fear. Like, we're gonna go and do it.
My advice for a newlywed, I think is what the question was. Take the jump, and as often as you can, take the jump with your spouse. Also, since you got 3, I'm going to take 2. Take 2 on this is understand that you've got, which you'll never understand unless someone tells you, and you can really dice it up and really dig deep into it, that as a newlywed, you have momentum. Going back to the gym reference, you have momentum like you have been going to the gym for 2 years and have been on your nutrition right, and you've been dialed in on your diet and your health and your wellness and your fitness. Do yourself a favor and don't fall off. Because once you fall off, it is very hard to get back on. And if you fall off for 2 years in your marriage, if you fall off for 3 years in your marriage, you fall off for 5 years in your marriage, it's like falling off from the gym after 5 years and going back and trying to do makeup work. It's very possible, but it takes a shitload of discipline. It takes a shitload of intensity. It's fucking hard. It's hard, but it's very possible. It's going to take a lot of commitment, but I would advise newlyweds, don't ever let go of that momentum. Just
And
like
love. And love.
Yeah.
Don't forget the love.
Yeah, you're already loving each other. Like, you're on it. You're in the honeymoons. Don't ever let the honeymoon stage fade. And I'm telling you how to do that. Go back and listen to this last hour of this podcast. That's what you do to not let the honeymoon phase end.
We waited a very long time to realize what was going on.
Yeah, we fucked it up, and we had to put in the work, years of work to get back to the honeymoon phase. Honey, I think I had a lot of fun. This is another good episode, I think, with us. These are my favorite for sure.
Me too. I
Yeah.
loved it so much.
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
was a good one.
You liked it?
I liked it a lot.
Good. I appreciate your participation in it. You did good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You did good too.
Keeping the shit
I
going.
appreciate you participating too.
Now I'm a bottle
Okay,
of
I'll
wine
submit.
in.
Yeah, a bottle of wine. Lindy, what are we drinking tonight? A whole bottle of wine. No, listen, raw, uncut. Anyone who knows us, going back to question number 1, anyone who knows us, we're open books. We're happy to help any way we can. Hopefully this provided some sort of value to somebody. And again, anyone who knows us knows that this is not fake. And also, people who have known us a long time know that it hasn't always been this way, and we've worked really hard for it. I encourage you all to, as always, find your purpose, serve your purpose. This episode, fucking serve your purpose and
protect your purpose.
and protect your purpose, people. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Please share the show. Love you, babe.
Boom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go.